why moving to the cloud makes business sense. We've all heard the buzz around the cloud over the last few years, but if your business hasn't made the switch yet, you're likely wondering if it's worth the effort. It's a fair question. The truth is, businesses are moving to the cloud in droves for a good reason. It's saving them time, money, and a boatload of headaches. If you've ever had to deal with maintaining servers, upgrading hardware, or recovering from an IT disaster, you know exactly what we mean. The cloud frees you from the grind of managing hardware and infrastructure. No more hefty upfront investments in servers, no more nights worrying about the latest security threats, and no more scrambling to upgrade outdated systems. It's all handled by your chosen cloud provider. So, why should you care beyond the buzzwords? What are the real and tangible benefits of cloud migration? And how do you sift out that proverbial needle from the haystack when choosing a cloud provider that matches your business needs? Today, we'll cover all this and a whole lot more. What is a cloud services provider? Let's nail down the basics and quickly cover what a cloud provider is first. In simplest terms, a cloud service provider is that offers a variety of computing services over the internet, such as storage, servers, databases, networking, and software. Instead of owning and maintaining their own IT infrastructure, businesses and individuals can tap into these resources on demand, paying only for what they use. Think of it this way. If owning servers is like buying a car and dealing with all the maintenance, parking, and insurance, using a cloud provider is like using a rideshare service. You get where you need to go when you need to without the overhead. Why should you care about moving to the cloud? As a business leader, your top concerns likely revolve around cost management, operational efficiency, and scalability. Here's just some benefits of cloud migration that address this, and then some: cost efficiency and financial flexibility. Running on premises servers is capital intensive, to say the least. You need to pay for hardware, electricity, cooling systems, physical space, and possibly a specialized team to manage it all. With the cloud, you swap upfront capital expenses for predictable operational costs, only paying for the resources you actually use. In fact, many providers like AWS even offer cost calculators to help you see the savings in black and white. Enhanced operational efficiency. Managing your own hardware is also a significant drain on time and resources. Routine tasks like software updates, security patches, and system monitoring consume valuable IT bandwidth, especially if, like most, you don't have a dedicated team hired specifically to manage servers. By moving to the cloud, you offload these responsibilities to experts who specialize in infrastructure management. Unmatched scalability and agility. Remember when we said cloud providers are like rideshare services? Well, scalability within the context of the cloud is like being able to call a minivan or a sedan depending on how many passengers you have. When your business hits a spike in demand, you can scale up without missing a beat. When demand drops, you can scale back just as easily and not have to pay for resources you aren't using. Access to advanced technologies. Most providers invest heavily in pioneering technologies like artificial intelligence, machine learning, and big data analytics that are generally prohibitively expensive for most businesses to develop on their own. But now, businesses of all sizes can tap into and leverage these tools, thereby essentially leveling the playing field a bit more between small businesses and industry giants. Faster deployment and innovation. This might be one of the most underrated benefits of cloud migration. When you use cloud services, you can deploy new features or services faster than with traditional IT, whether it's launching a new website, testing a mobile app, or rolling out updates to your product. You can do it in a fraction of the time. And developers can spin up environments in minutes instead of waiting weeks for IT to provision servers. How safe is the cloud? Security is often the first concern for businesses considering a move to the cloud, and rightfully so. In a world where data breaches make headlines, the idea of entrusting your sensitive information to a third party can feel risky. But the reality is that cloud providers have invested heavily in security, often far more than most companies can afford to do on their own. Take AWS, Amazon Web Services, as an example. AWS operates under a shared responsibility model where the provider takes care of the security of the cloud, infrastructure, hardware, software, networking, while you, the customer, are responsible for securing in the cloud, data, identity management, encryption. AWS employs a layered security approach that includes everything from physical data center security, think biometric access, 24/7 surveillance, to sophisticated network protections like firewalls, encryption, and continuous monitoring. If you're running on-premises servers, achieving this level of security would require a significant investment, far beyond just technology. You'd need specialized staff to monitor systems, update protocols, and respond to incidents around the clock. With the cloud, that responsibility shifts to providers who have entire teams dedicated to staying ahead of the latest threats. And while no system can be 100% impermeable indefinitely, for most businesses, cloud security is a huge step up from what they can achieve internally. How can I ensure compliance in the cloud? Compliance, in its many shapes and forms, depending on your industry, is a non negotiable, and moving to the cloud doesn't absolve you of these responsibilities. In fact, it introduces new dimensions to consider. Cloud providers have recognized this and nowadays typically offer compliance ready infrastructure, but it's important to confirm that they meet the specific regulations relevant to your business. HIPAA compliance for organizations in the healthcare industry, protecting patient data is a must. Providers that offer HIPAA compliance services ensure that electronic health information, EPHI, is stored and transmitted securely. When choosing a cloud provider, verify that they sign a Business Associate Agreement, BAA, to confirm they meet HIPAA's regulatory demands. SOC 2 compliance. SOC 2 is important for businesses, particularly those offering SaaS or tech services. A SOC 2 compliant provider ensures that your systems are secured, available, and maintain the integrity of your data. It verifies that the cloud provider has strict controls in place, such as system monitoring, breach detection, and data backups, helping you maintain trust with your customers. GDPR compliance. If you operate in the EU or handle EU citizens' data, your provider must comply with GDPR. Look for features like data deletion tools, consent management, and breach notifications to maintain compliance globally. What are the possible disadvantages of moving to the cloud? The benefits are undeniable, but it's important that we add a caveat on the potential drawbacks so that you make a fully informed decision. Data transfer and migration costs. Moving existing systems and data to the cloud isn't as simple as flipping a switch. Migrating requires planning, expertise, and, in many cases, a significant financial investment up front. Depending on the size and complexity of your infrastructure, the process could take weeks or even months. During this time, you might also experience some downtime or interruptions in service, which could impact day-to-day operations. Additionally, while the cloud eliminates many of the capital infrastructure expenses, the costs of data transfer can add up, especially if you're moving large data sets or frequently transferring data back and forth between your systems and the cloud. Vendor lock-in. When you commit to a specific cloud provider, you're essentially locking yourself into their ecosystem. This can create challenges down the road if you want to switch providers or integrate other services that don't play nicely with your current setup. Each cloud platform has its own proprietary tools and APIs, and migrating away can be costly and complex. Before committing, thoroughly assess the ease of data migration and compatibility with other platforms to avoid getting trapped in an undesirable situation. Some companies opt for a multi-cloud strategy, spreading workloads across different providers to avoid total dependency on any single vendor. Downtime. It's a given that cloud computing requires reliable internet access. If your connection goes down or is too slow, you lose access to critical systems and data. Even though leading cloud providers boast impressive uptime statistics, no system is infallible. Limited control and customization. Moving to the cloud means giving up a certain level of control over your infrastructure. With on-premises systems, businesses have complete control over every aspect of their environment, from hardware configurations to network protocols. In the cloud, you're working within the parameters set by the provider. While this trade-off is acceptable for many businesses, those with highly specialized requirements might find it limiting. What to consider when choosing a cloud provider? Choosing a cloud provider isn't a decision you want to rush because it's not just about who offers the lowest price or the most features on paper. It's about finding a team that brings real expertise to the table and helps you avoid the common pitfalls. Here's what you should really be considering: Pre- proven experience across industries. Anyone can claim they know the cloud, but it's important to see a track record of success. Look for a partner that has navigated cloud projects across different industries and workloads. Experience matters because every business is different, and your partner should have a history of adapting solutions to fit the specific challenges you might face. For example, ask about past clients in your industry, what problems they solved, how they handled compliance issues, and what kinds of performance improvements they achieved. That insight is invaluable, certified, qualified, and battle tested. Certifications like AWS Solutions Architect or Google Cloud Engineer are important, but it's real world experience that counts. You want a partner whose team has tackled everything from cost optimization to DevOps and database management. It's like hiring a mechanic. You don't just want someone who read the manual, you want someone who's worked under the hood. Partnerships that open up funding and perks. A big upside of working with a partner that's deeply embedded with cloud platforms like AWS or Google Cloud is that they can often unlock funding opportunities and other benefits you wouldn't get on your own. Major providers offer incentive programs to partners that help with migration and implementation costs, support that's there when you need it. You should have access to clear SLAs, service level agreements that define response times, uptime guarantees, and how they'll address problems when things go wrong. The question is whether your partner can respond quickly enough to minimize downtime and avoid disrupting your business. Transparent pricing and communication. Your cloud partner should speak your language, not tech jargon. You need someone who can break down complex issues into simple, actionable steps. Pricing for cloud services can be tricky, and hidden costs can come back to bite you. Make sure your cloud partner is upfront about how they bill for resources, support, and additional services. If they're dodging questions about pricing, timelines, or why they're recommending a certain setup, consider it a very big red flag. Why consider Scopic for your cloud services needs? AWS Advanced Tier Partner. Our advanced partnership with AWS means we have deep expertise in implementing and managing AWS services. This also gives us access to AWS's latest features and technical resources. TD Synnex collaboration for migration funding. Through our partnership with TD Synnex, we can help businesses secure funding for AWS cloud migrations, significantly reducing upfront costs. Google Cloud Partner in the Asian region. We have a strong partnership with Google Cloud in Asia, allowing us to deliver cloud solutions designed for the unique needs of businesses in that region. HIPAA compliance expertise. We have hands-on experience with HIPAA-compliant cloud implementations, making us a trusted partner for healthcare organizations needing secure, regulated environments. Conclusion. Cloud migration is a big decision, but it doesn't have to be complicated. The key is choosing a cloud provider who knows the landscape and can guide you through it. At Scopic, we make it easy for businesses to shift to the cloud without disruptions, offering expert advice and personalized support every step of the way. Contact us and take advantage of our knowledge, experience, and cloud partnerships today.